became a God-believing, loving man. I don't believe in doctors and psychiatry. Don't believe in them. I don't believe in Jorgen Peters. I was almost dying because of psychiatry. I was driving taxi here. It's not right for me. So I became a life coach and a psychology to understand highly sensitive people cannot drive taxis 8, 10 hours to 4 hours a day for 10 years at night. I'm a highly sensitive man. I grew up in the country. They don't look at the forensic history of your health. I was living alone as a child. I was working with animals, and I was just a sensitive kid. I was forced out of being an introvert because normal says you can't be an introvert. That's ridiculous. So I was forced into something I didn't want because that's at the time was their dogma. Being an introvert is being an empathic sensitive. I never liked being around people, and I went to a psychologist that was a industrial psychologist. You're better to learn on your own. All the time I've been that way. I couldn't even play in a band because I can't gig with them. I play through loopers. I'd rather play my own stuff. I don't seem to work with people well. Do I hate people? Not if they're not killing me. That psychiatrist had me on 28 drugs. I had never suffered mental anguish like that in my life. In my life, I've never ever suffered like that. Those drugs were so toxic, my head was screwed up. I was trying to kill myself on my birthday. And I didn't know why. I wanted to step out in front of a car. And I didn't know why. Because those drugs hit their lobotomy. They're the worst damn things. I don't know why we license these crooks. I was so angry at him, and I'd be waiting for him for 2 hours, and he'd come in, hand me some pills. I had a burnout from driving taxi. We used to call it a breakdown, but it made me worse, and I almost died. So I started reading. I'm glad I had education because I learned how to do research. I did my own research. I started reading the Dr. Abram Hoffer and micronutrients. I can remember my foundation in natural agriculture was not this junk. And I went to True Hope in Raymond, Alberta. They have an office. True Hope got me off all that junk. I was dying. I was up to 366 pounds. I couldn't walk. I had sugar diabetes. I had all sorts of problems. I always found natural medicine worked for me. That's personally me. I can't take drugs. I got a doctor. She won't listen to me, so I fired her. I won't go to a doctor now. So I'm going to leave Canada because I don't like the health care. It's one way. I'm leaving Ontario. It's useless. They just fund it and fund it and fund it. My mother was a nurse here, and she burned out. And nurses are burning out all the time because the doctors are just paid to prescribe pills. Did you know that? They're paid to prescribe pills. So I had a hell of a time with my ex-wife. He wouldn't refer her to a specialist. She had type 2 glaucoma. She needed drops for her eyes. They were so paining her. No, it's an eye infection. Doctor, it's glaucoma. You're not a doctor, he said. No, but I know her history. And I couldn't do anything. So I took him to the College of Physicians and Surgeons because he was going around after I got well. These people have been going around saying I'm dangerous because I'm bipolar and I don't take meds. I'm just pissed off. Just pissed off. So right now I'm filing human rights complaints with the federal government, not the Ontario. It's useless as hell. Useless. Absolutely rubbish. I was thrown out of the hospital. My niece made me go homeless. I'm a victim of armed robbery. I had 5 rounds fired at me driving taxi. And that's the way they treat you. They let the guy out and was in there. And I said, remember me? I said, yeah, you shot at me. Oh, I needed the money. Oh, you got a shotgun in here? So I'm friends with the police, but they're getting shot at. You got a government that is allowing lawyers to get people out of the jail. He went out, and I'm driving along. I hear on the radio he just murdered somebody. So he really learned from his thing that I heard him. That's not justice. I call up the human rights. I call up victim services, and he figures he's entitled to shoot at people and tell me that. Bingo was killed in Toronto, a police dog. 8 police officers shot. What sort of justice system do we have? There's not reform. It's not reform. We are too liberalitarian. We have got too many liberal laws. We need stronger laws in Canada for safety of people. That doctor needed jail for killing me. Now he's got assisted death. You know, I was 306 pounds. I almost had a heart attack because of my obesity. Those drugs are causing obesity. So why go to them? I wasn't that sick, but I sure got sick going to him. I'll never do it again. And I'll tell you, I go to a crystal shop now. I'm a Reiki master. I'm a little angry right now. Thinking about it, I'm triggered. So I do freedom technique. I got to do that all the time. I think of this. But the best thing is get out of Canada. She was traumatized. She's 22 years old now. She's got a boy. Her dad was on a military base. Okay. Dads are hard to live with when they got PTSD. What they have her down as? They had her on all sorts of drugs at 14. She's a nice girl. She works at a crystal shop. She does a bit of level 2 Reiki. And she smudges and heals herself. But she sure wouldn't go back to one of those idiots. So you're against Justin Trudeau, but I think he did something right. I think he legalizing this marijuana, you can get cannabinoids that are safe. Harper was going to jail for marijuana, okay? That's another thing. I'm really getting sick of all you guys going against Trudeau. I think he's done good in Canada. But I don't want to be under right-wing rule. So I'm going to denounce citizenship. I'm just going to leave. I'm going to probably use my Canada citizenship. I can keep 2. Maybe Canada will wake up someday and get rid of these conservatives. Maybe. But I might be dead before then. So I'll die where I want to die. I'll be eaten by a crocodile. Killed by a horse. Then killed by a friggin' doctor. Never again. That's slow death. They have no right to drug people and just keep it and not get prosecuted for over medication, but they did away with it. The bloody medical system protects them. I tried to get justice. And malpractice? You can't get malpractice on a shrink. So what I do now, I downloaded Amnesty International. I'm filing a complaint, but human rights violations with the federal government, not provincial. Because that girl there just hung up on me. I go to the doctor, they pull out those forms. I'm bipolar. You keep them away from me. They got to be closed, and that's what I'm working on today. I'm writing letters. I want those files burned or destroyed. I'm not bipolar. I'm just pissed off at that sort of garbage. Every time I come in there, I'd wait 2 hours. He was in a bar room getting drunk before he saw me. That's how useless they are. Never trust a doctor or a psychiatrist pushing pills. I see Jordan Peterson. I don't want anything to do with your psychology if that's psychology. I have been reading good psychology, and that's garbage. Is that what you're putting out of schools now? Guys like Jorgen Peterson, climate deniers? I am an environmentalist and damn friggin' proud, and I'm ashamed of Canada for its environmental policies. Jorgen Peterson. I was on a whale watching expedition. I saw DDT in the ocean killing whales. Mother died of DDT toxins. All your garbage and that tar sands. Get it out of me. Leave me alone with your conservative right wing anti environmentalism. I hope hell fire burns you up and you can go to hell, Peterson and Rex Murphy. Joe Brogan, you can stuff in my ass up your ass. I'm angry. I'm triggered. I hate conservatives that go against the environment. I was going back to horsepower. Yeah, because I hated trucks. I drove transport. I hate trucks. I hate noise. I hate fossil fuels. I've seen what it's doing to this country. It's destroyed it. And going against women's rights, whoa, you get off of my back, you bastard, you yuppie. I was a pro-equality man. I gave up religion because they were bothering a young woman, not you. I really think you're a piece of manure. All three of you yuppolas and right-wing PCs and Pierre Paula, he can get stuffed. I am denouncing Canadian citizenship. I will not be a part of a fascist regime like these. They've never been a good party. They're part of the reformists. Reform, yeah, reform. Rubbish, Canada. Going against Justin Trudeau. I'm a Green Party supporter and I was a member. My cousin was a communist. I think that would have brought it back together, the Canadian Communist Party, but it's gone. You just want full power, you run bastards. You're run by BlackRock and you can get stuffed. I'm leaving Canada. So I'm filing a complaint. Maybe I'll get enough money to fly out of here. It's a lot of a flight. I'm a descendant of Australia and I'm fed up with you. I'm fed up with our police getting shot at and you want more guns, you stupid freedom boys. Liberty, give me death. You know, my dad says you'll die by a horse. I love horses, but I don't like freedom boys. And I don't like guns. I like law and order. And I like justice. And I like people going to jail that commit crime and learning something. But I'm done with Canada. He's here voting for Pierre Paula. He's an idiot and he's a crook and he's a liar. Liar, liar, liar. He's just spinning tails to get in power. I'm done with Canada. It's just like Trump. Just like Trump now, he's indicted. And he should go to jail. I hope he does.